Welcome back to the 4 Power 2 Balance Tournament. My name is Left Bauer, and today we are casting Game 2 between Missile Knows Where It Isn't and Team Fleet Command. For those of you that saw Game 1, you saw a banger with both teams getting Titans out. It was a 3-hour slugfest that ultimately led to the victory for Team Fleet Command. Today we're on Transtav in Game 2. This one promises to be quite the banger as well, and so we'll take a look at who's on our teams here. So first, for Missile Knows Where It Isn't, in red we have Yuki on Visari Exodus, and Dr. Techman 42 on Tech Enclave, who I'll just refer to as Dr. Techman. And then on Fleet Command we have Monmon on Advent Report Reborn in pink, and DannyVi.com on the Tech Primacy. As stated, we are on the map Transtav, and it's quite a popular map for 2v2 play. So for those that aren't aware how it works, each team starts with their one planet on the far end, their normal homeworld, immediately has 2 asteroids off their homeworld, then 3 tier 1s, all of different planets. You have to research Arctic, then volcanic, then primordial, or something of that sort, and then you enter into a ring in the middle. Now the ring in the middle, we'll look very quickly at future orbits. The ring kind of flows counter to itself, so you have planets that get themselves out of position and circle around each other, but the main feature that everyone always forgets about, that my fellow co-casters like to talk about, is these 2 planets here. Currently, the volcanic is sitting on the side here of Team Fleet Command, and then this ice planet is sitting on the side of Missile Knows Where It Isn't. And about an hour into this game, those 2 planets realign with each other. You can have phase lanes that pass through to each other, and you eventually have to deal with a force on your backline, because those planets usually get used to raid everyone's backline. So we'll take a look real quick at some of the features on this map. So it looks like Monmon has a derelict level 1 on that planet. Looks like we have another level 1 on Danny Vi's planet. Let's see, what do we got over here? So on this side we have a tier 2 derelict and another tier 2 derelict. So 2 tier 1s on Team Fleet Command side, 2 tier 2s on Missile Knows Where It Isn't. And then in the center on the sun, we have a tier 3 and another tier 3 on this Ferris planet. So that Ferris planet is probably going to be quite contested, as well as this crystalline planet, but otherwise it looks like asteroids, and we do have 1 hive asteroid that happened to sneak its way into the middle. For the minor factions, we do have the Pranist United, which is a peaceful race, does not do piracy, does not do anything to mess with the player, but what it does give is defensive abilities. So the first one being Emergency Gauss Platform. You'll see teams use some of their early influence to fortify some of these planets with those free Gauss platforms for 1 influence point, and then possibly see some unassailable fortresses. It costs 2 points of influence to get this one, and adds a significant amount of health and military slots to the planet instantly. So you'll have to regen the health up to full, but if you have this on a planet, some of these planets don't even have, or barely have 6,000 early. So an extra 5,000 health just more or less doubles the time that it costs to siege it. The one that'll probably cause the most headaches for everyone in this one, though, is the pirates. 2 patches ago, we did get the pirate galleon added to the game, so the pirate capital ship that causes quite interesting raids on all of those planets. Of note, we have boarding crew and smuggler's den. If you can get all the way up to Pirate's Wager, you get some free resources for influence, and then for 10 you have the Sent Pirate Raid. Then last but not least is we have Yvonne's Fine Frigates, light frigates, flak frigates, support cruisers, and heavy cruisers, all available for some influence cost. So we'll take a look really quick at what the teams have started with. So Danny has started with the Acon, which is the same thing he started with last game. 2 points in Colonize, 1 in Tradeport, and Radiation Bomb on the way. Mon on his team has 1 level in Colonize, 2 in Shield Regen, and has left the Votary Siphon on the ship. On the opposite side, Dr. Techman, also going with a Acon, has gone 2 into Colonize, 1 into Tradeport, already has Radiation Bomb up, and the Exotic Salvage. And then it looks like Yuki has gone the exact same way with the double Evacuator fleet again. So a little bit more metal on this current patch for the Visari factions if they want to go for those capital ships. Looks like he does have the fleet beacon on his home planet, so an extra 500 or so metal was spent by Yuki just to get those ships rolling, but does not quite have the other ships yet, while he continues to level up his economy. Now, this map is a little bit of a trap for players. Most people think that because of the nature and the size of this map, that you get a lot of free time to set your economy up. And what we've seen in past tournaments is thinking that would be a mistake. What usually happens is teams are, at least to these asteroids, probably around the 13-minute-ish mark. And then if you are not contesting in these 2 planets in the front here, you're behind, because if let's say Yuki and Dr. Techman get to this Ferris and this Hive planet ahead of you, now they have 2 planets that they own here, 2 planets that they own here. The only way through is either through a planet or through the sun, and it just becomes exceedingly difficult to get off of the asteroids that are stuck in the back here. Because as we saw earlier, these planets will rotate around, and if you own both of the 2 on the wings, it's just that much harder to break it. So we'll see where everyone's at. So Yuki has grabbed the Primordial already. It looks to be also grabbing that Tier 2 Derelict. Looks like Mon is on his way to the Primordial, going with a similar Progenitor and Acolyte start as we saw last time. And then Danny Vi, let's see, did Danny go Pirates again? He's on his way to Tier 2, so it's too early for Pirates. But does have 8 Cobalts, has the extra scouts out, and continuing to tech up. Let's take a look at Techman, because I believe I saw something earlier. Did I see what I thought I saw earlier? I do expect him to go Garrison again. Garrison has become quite good for the Tech Enclave, specifically because star bases are a little bit cheaper now, and defense structures are currently just so potent, and their ability to deal with missiles and strike craft has been buffed with the most recent changes. So real quickly, on those turrets, where is it? So Fletchette Burst, 10-second cooldown, 50 damage, 50 pierce, is able to shoot corvettes, able to shoot strike craft and missiles, and 50 damage gets through almost every single missile in the game, with the exception of maybe some, where is it? Max armor on Javelin missiles, but for the most part clears those out quite easily.
Civilian research complete.
Let's see, Yuki's up to 207, has started to reinforce his fleet with defensors, has 10 already, 16 still queued up. Where did he put those factories? So Nano Assembly Factory on the Primordial, typical Visari faction, where dropping all the metal extractors everywhere you can afford to put them, and then on the planets where you can't get metal, dropping some crystal for crystal income as well. So early game getting quite the expensive on the extractor front. Let's see what other research he has. All the way up to 600 supply has already been researched, has gone defensor and nothing else just yet, and then has gone for the defensive tech and has not quite spent on offense except for this first improved pulse. Danny, again, let's see, has gone freebooters, so we'll see where those are. Here's the freebooters on their way. Plus, looks like he got two pirate corsairs. So, unfortunately, on the lower end of the corsairs. The corsairs are quite strong, both durable and strength at killing frigate ships. So, to only get two is a little bit of a letdown for him. Mon has, as we saw earlier, has the corvettes. Usually I believe he just mostly uses the corvettes early game because it allows him to A, fight the corvettes that are on the random planets, but B, because of the antimatter projection ability, does just kind of let his progenitor mothership do all the tanking and puts all the energy into shield regeneration and never has to worry about it. So quite effective for him there. And it looks like, has Dr. Techman gone for it? Yes, Dr. Techman has gone for crystalline colonization and will be going for this planet early. Let's see, is this a, how does he have that? Does he have pirates? Yeah, has boarding crew, so has stolen a Harka heavy cruiser. Boarding crews has changed recently. So you can cast the skill on a ship, and when you do, you have to kill the ship before you can take it over. So it makes it a little bit harder for any faction really to steal a ship, because this boarding crew just makes it a little bit harder. Also using the radiation bomb to deal with some of these bigger ships that the Acon just really doesn't have the Pierce to deal with, specifically both the Javelins and the Harkas. And Yuki has grabbed this asteroid already. Is he going to keep going? Yes, looks like Yuki's going to keep going. Mon seems to be a little bit behind. Doesn't quite have the ships. Is sending in his fleet, though. Oh, who's the pirates? I missed it. Alright. Oh, and we just saw the Rapture camp comes out, so Mon now has two capital ships, just like Yuki does, but sitting at 213 supply, where a solid amount of that still isn't there. We might have our first engagement already at 20 minutes in. Is Mon going to take this fight? Because there are a lot of defensors here. That is 32 defensors, and while they will struggle a little bit to kill off all of these heavier ships, I think he really wants to fight Mon's corvettes right now. Nope, Mon thinks better of it and bugs out. And where is Techman going? Oh, Dr. Techman realizes that this ice planet was not taken by Yuki, which maybe slowed Mon down just a little bit, getting this extra planet here. Yuki decided that it was more important to get to the Ferris planet than it was to deal with this ice planet, and so has gotten the foothold on this side of the map with both planets over on the south end of the sun here. Let's see, is Dr. Techman going for a similar build as last time? Looks like yes. We do see the garrison coming out, and it looks like going heavy into light factories. Now, early game, garrison's not going to be super overwhelming with 125 supply, but what's really going to make it harder is these autocannons being placed immediately next to them, and having so many structures is that they're just going to pump out ships left and right. We'll see what he's got. It looks like it's the Garda and the Stillet, so it'll be Cobalts, Stillets, and Gardas. Mon is going in again. Let's see if this is a fight worth taking. So Yuki's already up to 72 defensors, and that is going to very quickly clear any strike craft. Is he building anything on this planet? Nope, but he has decided that the Sentinels are the most important priority target. Sentinels with 300 durability and a deceptively large health pool. These will take quite some time for these defensors to chew through, even if they focus fire through the armor. And we have first ship blood, I believe, where that is the first anything going down. And it looks like Mon has decided that instead of fighting the capital ships, he's just going to bomb the planet and try and use these tempests to deal with the ships and the plasma nova to deal with the ships. All the sentinels are going down. It looks like all of the acolytes are also going down. The Tempest just can't get any damage through because all of the point defense on the Defensor is just managing to deal with it. But he looks like he's going to be able to bomb out the planet safely because all 3 capital ships are still quite healthy, especially with all the shield regeneration going on. So he does take the planet, also secures it for himself, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold it. So it'll be interesting to see if he tries to. And it looks like this evacuator is mostly dealing with these Javelises peppering it, but it's now lost shield and armor. So we'll see if this is going to be any different. Turns to take the planet back, and Mon's on his way out. Where is this pirate raid going? Where is it mentioned? Not seeing it, unfortunately. But Danny has gone in on this side. Looks like he's going to try and deal with the garrison on this planet. There are 5 auto turrets and 4 light factories. And it looks like we're going up to 6 auto turrets. So the auto turrets are going to come in, and Cobalts don't really do a whole lot of damage to structures. So they did have that buff to 250 Pierce. 250 against 600 is fine. It's just all this armor is going to be exceedingly difficult for it to get through on top of the regular health pool. But Danny does have the Calebs coming out. Looks like 3 currently, 3 more. Nope, just 3. 3 currently, and currently that's probably going to be enough. And where are these? He does have the Pirate Pillagers nearby, but does not seem to want to fire with them. Decides to retreat temporarily. Just can't deal with all of the flak or the Cobalts or the Stillets, I guess, and has decided to head out. So we are back to pretty even grounds. Mon is currently pushed back to his asteroid here. Is he building here? Yeah, he's got light factory and 2 greater factories. So this is going to be set up for Sentinel production more than anything else. Would like to see him mix in a couple Guardians just to make things live a little bit longer. Guardians did get a small tweak in their behavior in this last update. So it'd be interesting to add some of the Guardians in there because Reborn, for those that don't play Reborn, Reborn is so good with the cleanse ability. You find a Guardian in your fleet near the middle, use cleanse, and all of the ships in that vicinity get hull armor and shield added back to it. So very effective. Or you could use a Sentinel because there's such high armor on that ship. It might be just the right thing to do. But Danny is continuing to mass over here. What has he gone? Looks like he does have Harkas unlocked. And he's got a full 1,000 supply and 2 heavy factories. So looks like the Harka production has begun. And also building a Marza. Marza seemed to have fallen off a little bit since the previous tournament. Almost everyone was building Marzas instead of the Akon, just because the Akon didn't do much of anything for damage. Looks like he's going to it again. Does he have enough flak now to deal with these Stillets? They're going down quick. Let's see if there's anything. And it looks like Dr. Techman has grabbed this ice planet and is retreating, or is returning his fleet. Unfortunately, the pirates are in the way, so those pirates are going to have to, he's going to have to rotate through the Yvonne's frigates, but I don't think that that's anything that there's going to be. And I can see why Danny decided to come in on the planet. The starbase going up, realize it's better to fight a starbase before it's built, and choose through it ahead of time. Getting a starbase as early as you can is great defensively, but by doing that and being attacked early, Danny doesn't have to deal with armor, doesn't have to deal with crippled hull, doesn't have to deal with any additional regen on that. So stops the building of it, doesn't get full effective hit points, and looks to be fighting all the way in. Continuing to take out the fleet here. What is he shooting at?
The item is complete.
25 Calebs now. Calebs will make short work of these autocannons. Alright, and it looks like Mon has decided to move forward into the Pranist. What do we have on these planets? So we have 2 nano assemblies, another 2 nano assemblies, and it looks like, where is he going? It looks like the defensors might come to help with Danny on this side. But Mon has positioned himself right in the middle, so if those defensors, and that's why, because there's nowhere else to go, cannot go directly to the Ferris planet, but looks like he's going to intend to. So Dr. Techman's on his way in. Looks like this phase lane might actually disappear shortly because it should be going like right here. Yvonne, yep, there it goes. Or it's about to go. So the Hive asteroid have to go through the Hive asteroid to reinforce now, while Danny continues to fight through. And Mon is on his way to go to this Ferris planet, completely undefended. Really, four pulse guns isn't going to be enough. And it looks like we're gonna have to get into our first split screen battle of the tournament with 2 fights going on each side. Mon's fleet has arrived. There's a smattering of 7 pulse defense turrets up, so not terribly too much to have to deal with. On the right side, we do see that Dr. Techman's fleet is starting to actually arrive, but most of the stuff that's being killed off is the stuff that has not been his actual fleet yet. Mon continues to fight off the pulse defense turrets. We do see Dr. Techman's actual fleet coming in, and mostly Cobalts. It looks like 2 Harkas and some Gardas. I don't think that that's going to be enough to stop Danny. And Yuki's repositioning now to come in and fight Mon. I don't know who's going to have the most to do with this one. Mon's still trying to bomb out this planet. We'll see if he can get it done before Yuki's fleet gets here, but I don't think it's going to. Big engagement going on the right side. It looks like Dr. Techman is sending a lot of stuff at this Marza, trying to kill off those. The Cobalts, what are the Cobalts shooting at? The Calebs. Alright, so Caleb's continue to fight. On the left, we see a big supply of 100 defensors with the 2 capital ships, and those Sentinels are getting focus fired by everything that Yuki's got. He knows he has to take out the flak if he's going to deal, or if those defensors are going to survive. So very well positioned by Mon to put those Sentinels right where they are. The focus fire goes out on the Progenitor, but that is going to be a very tanky ship for those defensors to have to deal with. On the looks, gravity warhead. Nope, didn't. Yeah, it did go off, but only on some of the Sentinels. Yuki's going to chase, while Dr. Techman is losing a big supply of his Cobalts on the right-hand side. There is a level 6 Acon, and it looks like all those Stillets are dead, so there is no supply left for Dr. Techman. He gets the Acon out. I don't expect him to do any more with that fleet, so he's just going to lose that planet. While on the left, Yuki has added a smattering of 32 can racks. The problem is that his defensors, he's already lost those halfway through, so there's nothing additional to add. But even the focus fire of those can racks onto that Progenitor is not going to deal with that very well. But Mon continues to reinforce with Sentinels. Sentinels are going to do everything they can to get rid of all those defensors, but the Plasma Nova is what's doing the most damage to them, so Yuki needs to be very careful with them to make sure that he can do it. Progenitor does get out, does get the shield burst on the way out, but this many Sentinels, there is 0 damage from those defensors getting through. There's 0 damage for all of those can rack. So for anyone who's wondering, 27 Sentinels stops 41 supply worth of, 40 3 count of can rack missiles completely. There is 0 damage getting through right now, while those Raptures continue to bomb out the planet. They're not even, let's say one of them is fighting, one of them is bombing. So we'll see if that's going to be enough. No reinforcements going in. Danny has decided that he's going to try and take out that planet completely, and no additional work being done there. And there are no defensors left. All of those Sentinels and the Plasma Novas have cleared out the defensors. And it looks like this planet is going to go down. And Yuki's decided he is done here. He does not want to fight anymore. He's realizing those Canrax are doing 0 damage with this many Sentinels. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what kind of fleet to build to kill off this many Sentinels. Alright, looks like Yuki does have to retreat from this planet after all. And it looks starting to look good for Team Fleet Command, having won the first game of this 3-game set, or best of 3 set. And whether or not Monmon and Danny can continue to keep this. So Danny's sitting at almost 900 supply while taking over this crystalline planet. Quite slowly, I might add. And it looks like Monmon has decided to bring the progenitor back to this fight to secure the asteroid, while the fleet deals with the buildings available here. Now, on this Ferris planet, there is a significant number of pulse guns available for defense, but is this going to be enough of a deterrent? If you look at the fleet that Monmon has, it's going to actually be quite difficult to deal with them. Does not have a whole lot of high pierce or high damage ships at this point. Techman and Yuki are going to double team here. Do they know this is coming? They do not. This might be devastating for Monmon if he does not properly leave on this. He's currently still deciding to go in. I don't think realizes that it's a double at this point. Gravity Warhead and Subspace Rupture does realize what's going on here. Interestingly enough, though, 34 Sentinels completely stops roughly 35 Canrax. So quite effective at what they're meant to do, really. Monmon cannot fight a fleet of that strength. It looks like there's the 2 eggs, 2 evacuators, and the 1 level 6 Acon is just going to be too much. These Cobalts are going down rather slowly, I would say. Really needs a Plasma Nova again just to deal with it, but continuing to fight through the Cobalts as quickly as possible. Yuki has taken the planet back. Monmon needs to be real careful here because Gravity Warhead is up on the level 5 one, and it just came off cooldown on the other one. So Monmon's not going to be able to get out right now. He needs another 15 seconds to get out. While half of his fleet has left already, or at least 1 capital ship. He's waiting for the rest of these. Yuki correctly stacking all of those gravity warheads on top of each other. I think a little bit incorrectly, having charged phase missile ready to go, did not get the damage off that was looking to get off. What is Danny up to? Danny is going the other direction. Looks like we'll have to go. All right, Monmon's going to retreat, so we'll just keep an eye on that. So Danny continuing to push into missile nodes where it isn't territory. Does have quite a significant fleet at this point, all the way up to 1,000 supply, and looks to be trying to get ready to go into that 1,500 supply cap. And it's just going to be whether or not he can deal with how big is the garrison here. So it is a tier 2 garrison. A fleet is coming in as well. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to stick out this fight, because I don't think that there's as much supply here as Danny has. So Danny actually currently sitting with the supply lead and probably the right ships as well. So decides better against it. Although a level 7 Acon is on the way in, I don't know if he was ready for that. is Yuki going to correctly deal with this? Is the Acon going to turn around? Where's it going? Oh no.
Civilian structure complete. Military research complete.
Alright, so Techman has followed through and gone to Ivan's. Looks like Yuki is going back to defend the asteroid from Mon. And this Acon is the only thing in the gravity well taking damage, so these Stillets are actually doing quite well. Mon seems to retreat from this asteroid, so really just pushing and pulling Yuki around the map has taken this asteroid away. So quickly on the map, looks like Team Fleet Command does have their backline still. These two planets are getting precariously close to each other, and Techman has stacked up a starbase and let's see what level, what else does he have here? There's 3 light factories and a heavy factory, so quite a stack there. Now it'll be on whether Danny decides to fight here. Does go ahead and use the armistice. Everything in the gravity well, is it going to... Ooh, level 6 for Yuki did go down to crippled hull, so that's going to have to go in regen. While Mon has decided to continue fighting on this asteroid. So while we wait for that armistice to end, just take a quick look over here. There's no fleet here. It's just oppressors trying to get to Yuki's fleet. So is armistice off? How much longer we got? Not very long, I'm going to guess. There it is. And the fight is back on. All of these Calebs are shooting at... Where are they going? All of the Canrax. So dealing with the Canrax. And this level 7 Acon is getting focus fired by just enough Canrax. Probably had a charged missile to knock it all the way down to crippled hull. Is this going to go down? I can't imagine this lives. Yep. Alright, capital ship First Blood. We did lose the Acon there for Danny, although he still has quite a significant fleet advantage at this battle. It's just going to have to be the right fight to make this work for him. Radiation bomb comes out from Dr. Techman off of his Acon, has returned to the battle, and it looks like Danny's just going to continue losing a lot of these Calebs, really the backbone of his fleet. So getting focus fired down by the Cobalts from Techman. And what's going on the other side? So Mon has captured the asteroid on this side, continues to deal with the nano assembly factories, and getting rid of any additional fleet supply for Yuki on that side. Although all of these Calebs have been decimated. So Danny down to 600, almost 600 supply, realizing he probably needs to just get out of here. While this Marza is level 6, has used the missile barrage, but did not clear enough of what was causing the problems, really, for Team Fleet Command. Mon has gone into the desert, or I'm sorry, the Ferris on this side. Is this going to get out? Yes, it will. Alright, so Mon continuing to build up at this hive, has sent, looks like 3 capital ships over on this side of the map. Where are they going? Looks like they're going to try and bomb out the planet, leaving 1 Rapture to shoot at turrets while the other 2 get ready to bomb in a spot where they can't reach, as well as the Xeno Relations Center, hopefully to bomb that out for Team Fleet Command, while the rest of his fleet is queued up to go to Ivan's here, and has gone for the Illuminators. So Illuminators finally starting to come out to help deal with the oppressors that Yuki continues to build up.
An allied world has fallen to the enemy.
Alright, Yuki does have this evacuator. It has gotten back into out of crippled hull. Is it enough? Does he have anything building on it? I really like the nano repair swarm. It just helps you get out of crippled hull that much quicker. And it looks like these are still rotating on this side. Still a lot of pulse turrets. Even though they're pulse turrets can actually do pretty significant damage. So it'll be interesting to see if he decides to fight them head on or if he's going to bring additional fleet to deal with them. Pirates will come in on this asteroid here for Dr. Techman, although that's not going to be a problem with the fleet supply available to him there. And and Mon continues to dance around the turret structures on this planet while bombing it. Although Danny is going into this fight here probably to do the same thing he did earlier, where he knows that there's a starbase on its way up and wants to deal with it before there's a problem. Although all of these heavy cruisers have jumped straight into a subspace rupture and gravity warhead, effectively doubling the damage of subspace rupture. Same thing for just regular subspace for there. So focus fire on these heavy cruisers. I don't know that this is going to be worth it for Danny, who is all the way up to 800 supply. Looks like we have starting at 29 and 12. Does not have missile barrage. I don't know if that was a cancel or if it was used on the other side, but currently no missile barrage. Alright, Starbase has gone into crippled hull. Honestly, this is probably where it should be left. I'd like to see Danny leave it for the time being because he just does not have that much damage. I think he's going to lose more than he's going to gain here. So just not something he can really afford to. He can't afford to lose this much fleet supply when he has such a significant advantage over Techman at 468 and Yuki at roughly 600. He's going to continue to lose more and more while he's waiting for the starbase to finish. Is missile barrage going to come back online in time for this or not? Continues to sit in the starbase. Has gotten all the way down to 7 Calebs, so these are not going to help get through this capital ship. It's whether or not these Harkas are going to deal enough damage to the enemy Harkas of Dr. Techman's or the Cobalts that Dr. Techman has here. Continuing to try and steal this. Has decided to run, and let's see, Mon is going to kill off this planet. I don't think he can. Does he have the research for it? He does. So he may just take this planet and decide to fight another way to get those turrets. Like to see a hangar come out. Alright, Yuki and Techman look like they're going to chase. Alright, Mon now owns that. Alright, so these two planets are now in contact with each other. So we need to watch carefully here because Yuki has built up a substantial fleet of raiders that are going to take down all the buildings on this volcanic. Danny needs to continue to run, Mon needs to continue to run, while Techman and Yuki give chase here. And it looks like they're going to this hive planet. Is there something here that they're really falling back to? It looks like just 3 autocannons. I don't think that's going to be enough. And it looks like Missile knows where it isn't. Just kind of has the perfect spot to sit because pirates are going to guard you on this side. This Ferris planet isn't able to warp to anything yet. And you don't really want to go through the sun because there is the pirating galleon there protecting it. So, there goes Yuki's raiders. So the raiders have decided to go to the back line here of Mon. Is there a fight going on over here? No, they're still just dancing around each other over there.
Defilers encroach upon us.
Techman put in 1 Caleb. So these raiders are just going to make very short work of these structures that Mon has available here. So I don't know how much punishment he plans to take, but it looks like there are 22 raiders, so he is going to need a substantial fleet to deal with them. Alright, looks like Yuki is going all the way up to 36 raiders. Now, as a Advent player, the best way to deal with raiders is probably Tempests. If not Tempests, then you need to spam probably a pretty significant fleet of Acolytes. And by significant, I mean you need to match total supply of that fleet just to have a decent enough trade. Now, Yuki does have, looks like to be 180 supply of these raiders. And so Monmon's going to have to be very careful that if he's going to fight back against it, exactly what his fleet is going to be. It looks like he's doing Tempests from the home planet. Only metal and crystal structures on this asteroid, so really not anything to worry too much about losing. Just a little bit of income. Though it would be nice to have seen Mon put some of the income onto these planets that these raiders can't touch. Because as of right now, hitting after the structures is really what these raiders are going to do. Clearing these very quickly. Are there structures on the home planet? There are structures on the home planet he needs to worry about. So Danny's going in here. Techman does have a fleet fighting in Yvonne's pirates. I'm sorry, Yvonne's fine frigates. The repair bay does actually start repairing ships as though you're an ally, and it will go both ways. So it'll hit both with repairs. It's just going to matter which one's going to do more. Looks like this Acon is getting quite low. Uses the armistice just to keep itself alive. So we'll check back on it in a second. Alright, these raiders are going in. What are they doing? They're focus firing the Tempests out first. 7 Tempests is not going to be enough to delete 140 supply of raiders. You need to probably get closer to about 100 or so. And even then, you have to be quite careful. So the frigate factory goes down. So no additional Tempests available for Mon here. We'll come back into this fight because this should be kicking back off. Alright, Marza is on its way out. This Acon did get some nice heals. Marza's going to go down though. It's only level 2. Sold the exotic policy. Did not want him to do that. So he lost those exotics over there. So double checking. All the fleet is gone. So we'll go back to Mon here. These Tempests are going down quite rapidly. Yuki looks like did lose a little bit of raiders, but not a significant portion. And Monmon's just going to deal with, or Monmon's going to bring capital ships back with recall just to get a little bit more. Is this a response or is this, was he somewhere else with that fleet?
Our fleet has engaged.
Oh, I remember. He was stuck back here and was getting hit by Yuki. So Dr. Techman is sending in some siege frigates to help deal with these planets. They are completely undefended, so it'll be interesting to see what, if any, planets are able to be taken by the Tech Enclave player. Mon and Danny have balled up here on Yvonne's fine frigates. Techman looks to have mostly put his fleet here on this asteroid, and it looks like Yuki is taking back this Ferris planet. Really kind of already a little bit his because he's got 16 turrets on it. So it's just going to be enough for him to continue to keep it. Alright, so we did lose the volcanic there to Techman. Where is he going to send those? Looks like he wants the primordial. Nothing is defending the primordial currently, although the capital ships are on their way to go and defend it. And it looks like Yuki continuing to menace this backline, knocking out trade ports, and it looks like an orbital transit hub as well. Quite impactful, at least these raiders, on taking down planets that are completely undefended. Looks like Techman's going to try and get in here and hit this primordial. It is only level 2. There's no additional defenses on it at this time. And we do have one. He does have one upgrade coming.
Greedy heathens pillage one of our worlds. Desecrators
All right.
assault our world.
Rest of his fleet is going there. So Mon and Danny are a little out of sorts on this one. They aren't quite sure how to respond defensively. They're still still a significant supply here. Although, let's see what we have here. So all these raiders, more trade ports that are going to go down, more orbital transit hubs that are going to go down. So just continuing to peck away at Danny's economy, which he's got a lot of credits. He needs to start spending all these credits on stuff. Does have some metal going into civilian 10, so maybe he's going to start going for, where's the exotic factory? Right up here. Maybe he's going to go for cornium, see if he can get a little bit more here. Yuki now going for the homeworld, while Mon is dealing with these siege frigates here, and also dealing with this asteroid in the middle of the map. So here are the raiders. There's no turrets here. There's no ships here that can fight these. So losing a repair bay, probably going to lose this exotic refinery pretty quick as well, because it did take one short peck from the raiders. Where are they going to go? Yep, going straight after the exotic factory. Do we have any fights up here? Techman continues to hold the line. Does have tier 2 on the garrisons. Yuki continues to hold on this side, probably more, spending time more doing micro work with these raiders. Continues to deal with the factories that build the ships. So the frigate factory is still up. Dealing with the heavy factory immediately. And as you can see, just a nice chunk of income from these raiders, as well as dealing with all of the structures that are giving the income to Team Fleet Command, specifically Danny. Alright, Mon's going to go in. There's only 420 supply here. I don't think he knew that there was this level of supply here. So is this Rapture in trouble? Possibly. More fleet coming in. Illuminators, what are they focus firing? They are focus firing the Oppressor. This level 4 Rapture is probably going to be in trouble though. There's not much damage on the side of Team Missile knows where it isn't, but if they can focus fire something down, it's going to do a lot of damage. Now this Pirate Galleon is probably going to be the MVP here. Twin Ion Bolt is extremely effective at stunning ships. So I'd like to see if they try and keep it. Looks like they're going to try and keep it while the Oppressors get picked at. And it looks like the garrison has been set up on this ice planet. Or he has set this for active attacking. So these ships are just going to live here in this volcanic now. So Yuki runs away, and Dr. Techman is pushing in his raiders. Or I'm sorry, his siege frigates. Maybe he's going to go for this ice planet. Not really sure. Yuki continues to clear all of the home planet structures. Not really surprised there. While Yuki continues to run his fleet away. Does not want to fight head on into Fleet Command. Although I don't think Fleet Command also wants to fight into 21 pulse turret guns. Yeah. So Mon realizes, I don't want to fight this. Let's get out of here. And we'll see where they decide to go now. A little bit halfway through this game. A little bit of a similar stalemate as to what we saw in the first game.
Hey, no bid, no deal.
Oh, trying to get this Pirate Galleon. And decides not to. Interesting choice. There's not enough fleet there for Yuki. I think they could have gone through that as long as they took the fleet or the capital ships out first. I think that was a more valuable play. So a little interesting there. Alright, so this volcanic is pretty much owned by Techman. And then all of these siege frigates are pushing through the planets. Where is he sending those? He's just sending them straight here. Undefended ice planet, level 3. Does have one level of defense, but that's not going to be enough to stop all of those siege frigates. While also hitting this volcanic on the backside here. Has a fully defended ice planet, whereas on the back for Team Fleet Command, this volcanic planet is completely undefended, and the smart thing to do is just to take it away now before it becomes a problem later.
Civilian structure complete. Desecrators assault our world.
Alright, it does have the Tempests moved in. I don't know that the Tempests are going to be able to chew through 13 before it kills the planet. Yuki continues to wreak havoc. I want to say that these are the most well paid for raiders that have ever been created. And Danny does have the right idea that you either want to bring Gardas, which unfortunately can't quite keep up with raiders, or you have to bring a significant number of Shriken. And these Shriken are just going to focus fire on the Shriken, or I'm sorry, the raiders are going to focus fire the Shriken and just handle them while, and essentially not do much of anything, because it looks like Danny didn't bring enough and didn't bring them at the right account. Let me check. So Danny is missing the Corvette shield refit, and they're just not doing enough damage to deal with these raiders. These raiders are just they're gonna have the shield regen active this whole time that they're fighting. So not getting it done here. Probably need to see a nice hangar bay or something out of Danny to deal with it. Alright, so we do have Danny going in to fight here. Yuki's probably gonna run away. And it looks like Dr. Techman is going to go for the crystal planet on the backside, just to push forward the missile knows where it isn't fleets. And also some pirates in the background, but luckily there's a full-blown pulse gun wall that they're going to have to deal with. So nothing really there to manage. Mon is going to go through the ice planet. I think he's going to get there and realize he doesn't want to have to deal with a with a starbase as well. So unless that starbase just stays out of the way, then let's see. So lots of fights going on. Techman here on the crystalline. Yuki raiding all of Danny's backline planets, while Danny's main fleet is here on the asteroid, although cannot colonize it currently. And then Yuki sitting on this Ferris dealing with pirates. We've had a good game. This is a good one so far. There's action everywhere. Alright, Danny trying to finally deal with these raiders, I hope. 11 Shriken's not going to do it. We're going to see a couple of the Shrikens go down. Finally has about the right amount of supply to... No, doesn't even have the right amount of supply. So he's probably going to need another, I don't know, 15 or 20 supply just to deal with it.
Civilian structure complete.
Well, is there a starbase there? Yeah. So Danny actually keeps this crystal planet, so really not too significant there. Techman's going to deal with the fortified planet here on this asteroid first. And it looks like Danny's going to try and pull the fight over to him. Mon on the other side is trying to deal with the structures in this gravity well, because the last thing you want is production facilities that can feed directly into your backline. Let's see, what does Mon have left? 2 Raptures. Where's the progenitor? I haven't seen that in a while.
Desecrators assault our world.
Alright, looks like he's going here. The defensive structures there. So we'll get in this fight here. So Techman and Danny fighting quite heavily. Looks like the level 2 Marza has dealt with the pirate galleon, while Techman continues to try and deal with the turrets in this planet gravity well. Although a level 8 Acon stunned up, is it going to take enough damage at this time, or is Armistice going to go off? Danny thinking about running away. There's the Armistice. Is there anything else we're missing? Alright, so Mon continues to run around the ice gravity well with 49 illuminators.
Civilian structure complete.
Dealing with as much of the structures as possible to get rid of the garrisons on those planets. Alright, should be wearing off soon. Is Danny going to chase Dr. Techman is the question. Alright, Yuki pushing in on the Primordial. Is there anything of value there? There's really just the Temple of Communion. And I don't know that that's giving much to Mon at this point. There's no additional income on any of these planets except for the extractors, and extractors don't get buffed from culture. So I think that this is just going to, he's just going to clear the planet with these two ships. While Danny continues trying to chase. Is he going to keep chasing is the question. Yeah, I think Danny's going to try and get back. Because this fleet is not something that Mon currently has a fleet to deal with. There's 61 oppressors, 61 oppressors, 1,200 total supply, 2 capital ships, and Mon only has 950 supply worth of ships. Capital ships and illuminators trying to deal with this planet here in the starbase. Would like to see the capital ships actually helping out with the starbase, because the starbase does have planetary shield. There's not much you can do with it at that point. But also having to deal with siege in his backline going after his asteroids. Now the asteroid does have a Temple of Unity on it and a Shrine of Hostility, so it needs to kind of protect this one at this time. Yuki, I think, realizing at this point he needs to be careful that he doesn't get sandwiched. They're going to try and, yep, as you can read, Danny's going to try and trap the red fleet in here. Does lose the planet, the asteroid in the back, and Techman is pushed up to Evion's fine frigates again. Nice push and pull going on really here with Missile Knows Where It Isn't. Fleet Command is a little bit struggling, I think, trying to figure out where the right place to go is. And really what needs to happen is they need to take out this ice planet is really the big one that's stuck right here. If they can get through this, then they'll be in a lot better shape. Except it's going to take them a long time to chew through this planet with only 3 capital ships bombing it and the unassailable fortress, which we talked about very early on, and 3 points into the defensive track. So not a lot of planet bombing between these 3 capital ships to chew through that. Alright, Danny's continuing to try and chase, and Yuki is going straight at Mon. So let's see what this fight looks like. Egg does get off the gravity warhead to slow everything down. The twin ion bolt, now up to level 3 on this pirate galleon, is being used specifically on this progenitor at this time to stun it out. And there's actually a lot of damage here for Yuki. So if these oppressors can chew through this capital ship, I think that this progenitor is about to go down. Danny wants Mon to try and stick out this fight because he's getting close to helping out. Except the problem is there is a fleet on this asteroid here, and Mon is worried about this progenitor. It has hit level 6. There would be a lot of units that it could resurrect. It's just going to be whether or not it stays alive to use it on this planet. Does focus fire this level 8 evacuator. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it's going to go down. So level 8 evacuator dead. That's a big loss. Techman stealing this asteroid in the back. Most likely going to try and push in through the crystalline. Although I don't know if that's going to be enough. Does not quite get through the pirate galleon. But now turns his sights on all of these oppressors. Maybe he can get one of them or a couple of them down before they have to leave the gravity well. Nope, looks like that's not quite going to happen. So Danny has moved his fleet across the entirety of the universe there to try and catch this fleet. Just not going to be enough. But I think he's got a little bit better siege. So does have a level 8 Marza. That's really his golden child at this point. Is if Danny loses that Marza, that more or less seals the game, because this Marza should deal with just about any of these balled up fleets, with the exception of probably Techman's Harkas, because there's just too much armor on them. But any of these could deal with these oppressors, do a significant chunk of damage, and just be able to deal with it. And looks like Monmon's going to try and deal with this planet here, trying to bomb it out before it sets up a too big of a garrison. What level is this one? 4. But these raiders are still alive, and they are killing off any of Danny's structures. Where are they going now? Going back into the capital. There are 6 turrets set up, so is Yuki going to fight there or not, is the question. Alright, Yuki is holed up here at this volcanic. Is he going to continue to go elsewhere? Yes, he is. Did add a level 2 Marauder to his fleet, hopefully to rotate around the planets a little quicker. Danny's fleet and Monmon's fleet are currently trapped on this side of the map. They're going to have to rotate as well. Yuki losing some of these raiders, realizes it's better to just keep the raiders alive as long as possible and continue to shoot at buildings, especially in that back line. He's not going to get another chance to get ships in the back there, so really kind of a big deal that those stay alive. Techman is now going after this asteroid, has 70 Harkas, 10 Hashikos, and a level 2 coal battleship to try and deal with it, while Yuki continues to deal with everything that Danny has in the back line. I'm going to say those raiders are currently MVP, because I think that they have slowed down anything and everything that Team Fleet Command has tried to do. Alright, let's see what we have. Alright, so Monmon at Tier 3 economy, Tier 2 hostility, needs to get back. Actually, he already has the fleet supply, so needed to get this fleet supply, but also needs to get the hostility points to be able to do it. Danny now on his way up into Tier 4 for both economy and warfare, and what do they call it, military. Come on, Danny, you got to go for the Cornium. It's time. All right, Monmon adding back the ships. Dr. Techman also on his way up to Tier 4 military. Javelins is being researched. I'd like to see the breaker missiles this time, which would have, I think, been a game changer in that first game, but just didn't quite get it done. Yuki still Tier 2 economy, just now getting some of the more critical researches available to Tech Enclave. Would like to have probably seen him go Mobile Empire Lab if he doesn't have the space for it. He doesn't have the money for it at this time. Why doesn't he not have the money? Ah, that's why. This planet continuing to give crystal. This volcanic not giving enough there. And are these raiders dealing with Shrikens? They are. So there's going to be 5 turrets now. I think that Danny's just going to throw turrets up and deal with things that way. See the nice Fletchet blast.
Empire research complete.
Are they gonna get? Is it gonna get another shot off? No, doesn't matter. It looks like Yuki's just barely gonna start losing some of these. I don't think that there's any way that those survive much longer. While Yuki continues to try to get back into this fight. And Techman has just held it down. We're roughly back to where we were at the start of this game. Nice little line drawn right down the middle. The only thing left remaining is this ice planet in the back that Monmon is trying to continue to deal with. Looks like Dr. Techman is also still building on it, so it's making things a little bit harder for him.
Exploratory nanites have found exotic resources.
And we're back to a stalemate. So hopefully we can see some Titans coming out. Kavarkov being researched now by Danny.
We have no need for this anymore.
There are still 7 raiders available. Still 7 raiders available. Man, Yuki's killing off these structures just with these raiders. Buying them so much time. Alright, full defensive posture again from both teams. So we're hitting about the hour 50 mark. Looks like he's trying to get a couple refit bays up just for the heck of it. Alright, Crystalline now owned by Mon. And again, we're pretty much at a stalemate, except there is a connection point between these 2 planets currently. Looks like Danny's going to try and get some scouts over there and see if he can see the backline. When was the last time they saw backline? 16, 13. Okay, so they've actually been back here in the last 15 minutes. And Techman's going to go into on this crystalline planet with Yuki, so it's not just Techman.
Civilian research complete.
Going straight in for, where are they going to aim for?
We have no need for this any longer.
Civilian
Going straight for the repair bays.
Logistics upgrade complete.
And again, we are looking at Mon. Mon's at 1,000 fleet. Looks to be going into tier 4 military, which I think is a great decision at this point. Techman continuing to also tier up. Does he have... He does have exotic refinery. Nothing researched currently, but continuing to go up in fleet supply, getting additional repair bay and ship kill experience in tier 3. Anything else? Yuki, still tier 2 Empire, getting some of the more important tech for him if he's going to continue to go into tier 4 military. Sorry, tier 4 military is pretty expensive, so he's going to need to increase his crystal income if he's going to afford it. Would like to really see crystal nanites on the home planet, and then you can throw it on any planet you've got at least 2 surveys on.
Empire research complete.
So he's got a number of planets to throw it on at this point. Yeah, trivially, Yuki and Techman took out this crystalline planet. It was not really their current roadblock. Pirates coming into another defended system. Nothing to really worry about there. And we're waiting for Danny and Mon, I think, at this point, just to get to a little bit more stable point. Oh, just realized that. So Danny has received a planet artifact and has thrown the data archive on this primordial. Probably a pretty important planet for him to hold on to at this point, if he's going to survive this one. Does have the phase jump inhibitor being researched, and I saw it was built here, but really he needs to keep this Titan Foundry alive. The last thing he's going to want to do is lose this.
The item is ready.
And it looks like Techman has decided it's best to run away from this one for the time being. I want to see if Yuki is going for any additional fleet. So he is not. Does he have more raiders out? No, no more raiders.
Online.
Really needs to get an exotic refinery up. Has a couple more exotics to afford. But mostly, really just needs to develop some of these mining tracks. You can see the one on the crystal. Oh, are we fighting? No, Techman's running away. I was going to say, I thought he was running, but why does it take so long? Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot. So phase jamming on the starbase. I should have known better. It's 2 new guys. I'm sorry. So very similar to the first game. 2 fleets balled up immediately next to each other, ready to fight, and just waiting for them to fight each other at this point. Although now it looks like Mon has decided to go culture on this volcanic planet. How much longer does he have before the planet's... Is that... Okay, so it looks like that phase lane. I mean, I'm not... You guys are seeing this too, right? Like this phase lane exists currently, and it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Looks like when the asteroids come into the middle, it might do something. So really want to see either one of these players continue to use this phase lane to pick at each other's backlines. But it looks like they're all both a little bit too worried on these planets here. So Mon with 900 supply, Danny with 1400, Techman with almost the same 1400, and Yuki with also 1400. So we're at a very standard point of this game right now. Is anyone researching Titan?
The item is complete.
Techman is not. Looks like Yuki is going for the Volrak Penetrator. We haven't seen many of the Volraks yet, so we'll talk about it real quick. So it is a very tanky ship. Has a lot of surprising armor on it. Let me pull that up. So 330 durability, 880 shields, 1,235 armor points with 96 armor strength, meaning that it essentially takes a third damage if it's in armor instead of normal pierce damage. And then 960 hull points at base. So a very deceptively tanky ship. Alright, Danny's going in. He must have seen the starbase and decided he wanted to fight it. Yep, he's focus firing the starbase directly. They don't want the starbase to go up. Armistice popped though. Techman does not want as much of this to survive as possible. There's no way that this survives. Not enough stuff got hit by Armistice. Or, I'm sorry, Armistice range ran out. So Armistice is essentially not active if you're outside of the range of it. So everything inside is currently safe. So Starbase is going to go down. Yuki's going to do the other side of the map. So we'll keep an eye on that. I don't think that there's much over there. Nope, same idea. Probably saw that there was a starbase going up and did not want it to finish.
Our planet is under siege.
Yeah, immediately peppering the starbase. Although a level 5 asteroid is not going to last very long against 3 capital ships anyway.
Warfare research complete. Civilian structure complete. Our fleet has engaged the enemy.
Alright, Team Missile knows where it is and continues to pull Team Fleet Command around the map. Mon is now supply capped. And what is he spending money on? He's actually pretty close to tier 4. Is that what he's going for? Unclear. Is currently reinforcing directly through this asteroid. Although Yuki has decided he's going to go around. And Techman's going to go straight in on this fleet here. Realizing that this planet probably has lost most of the reinforcements. Because there go all of the illuminators. While Yuki continues to go straight through at these. What's he going for? Going for the phase jump inhibitor first. Smart move on this. On that play. Deal with the phase jump inhibitor, then you can deal with the rest of it. Although, is Mon going to run? Yeah, he's just going to run. So Mon and Danny, unfortunately a little stuck, is you either need to catch both of the of the fleets from Yuki and Dr. Techman at one planet, or they're just going to continue to be pushed and pulled around the map. As of right now, look, what are they doing? They killed the phase jump inhibitor, and now they have to deal with the phase jump time. The evacuator's getting focus fired. Pirate Galleon got the jump off. Evacuator got the jump off. Does have the self-repairing armor, so maybe going to survive just enough. Does not. There is no phase jump inhibitor or starbase to deal with there. No starbase. No starbase. Yeah, so Yuki's fleet can kind of run roughshod around this backline if he chooses to do so. And if anything, what it sounds like he's probably going to do is just pull Team Fleet Command's fleet around while Techman goes in after the important stuff. Does Danny have a Kvarkov built? Did he? Yes, he has one. So we have our first super capital ship. Where is it? He's realizing he needs to go back as well and deal with his fleet. But is Techman... Yep, they're going to try and 2v1 on this side. Except Yuki may have realized that there's not enough chasing him anymore, because he saw this fleet pulling away. Techman sees that the fleets are coming, has decided to try and warp out as early as possible. Is anything going to die? Nope, he's actually got the warp started and gone with the armistice, just to add insult to injury. That Acon is doing a lot of work keeping Dr. Techman's fleet alive. So Yuki's going to punish the fleets that Mon has left at this planet. Mon unfortunately continues to be pulled up towards the middle of the map, while Danny is pulled towards his own defense side. Really, Danny can't afford to lose this choke. Mon really, unfortunately, because he lost this choke and let Yuki get behind. Yuki's just kind of going to do whatever works for Yuki. And penetrators have now taken advantage of this long phase lane and are infiltrating the back line here. Would actually like to see Yuki get some culture on his own planets here. He's currently got a penalty of 75% income on the population of this planet. So he could be having a significant amount more income if he wasn't taking the penalty from Mon.
Survey nanites have discovered an unforeseen advantage. Empire research complete.
No Titan research for Yuki. Do we have... Alright, we do see Ragnarok research going out for Danny. He does not have the exotics yet to build it. Has he queued it up? Where does he have his Titan facility? Yeah, it's just there. Does not have it queued up. Does not have the money for it really either. What's Mon going for? Any super caps? Nope. Does not have the Titan foundry yet. Continues to go for additional focus. So going Sanctify 2 does have Recall 1, which we saw early in the game, and Clairvoyance 1. I don't know where he's going to put those, though, because his backline is still 100% exposed at this point. Alright, another fleet fight here. Looks like Mon and Danny are going to double team. This level 5 Marza appears to be getting shot at. Is there a armistice? No. No armistice. And looks like Techman is just going to give up this planet while Yuki gets to do the same on the backside. If Techman does lose this planet, it gives a nice choke point again for Danny. Problem is that Mon's in trouble in the back, and if he doesn't have, isn't able to control his backline, and it looks like he's using Sanctify, so he's just going to continue to keep his back planet alive, and the only thing that can really go well for Yuki is maybe Mon Mon runs out of unity points or focus points and can't sanctify as often as you'd like, or Yuki's going to have to pick 2 planets at the same time and bomb both of those simultaneously, which is definitely possible because Mon Mon does not have defensive structures on a lot of these planets. Although quite an interesting phase lane here. I expect those are going to be fixed shortly. They are not. Okay, it's going to be a while. Alright, Mon Mon's decided that they're done with bombing. We're almost towards the end here, so interesting to see what breaks this. Titan Foundry coming up for Techman. Would like to see the Taka and the Anklin. I don't know which one he's going to pick first. But looks like Flechette Blast is going to be before any of the super caps. Yuki has none of the super caps. Looks like Danny. Danny, do you have it queued up? Does not have it queued up. Alright, big fight here. Looks like Techman wants to hold this one. So there are 6 capital ships here for Techman. If he gets this Marza to 6, is he going to get it there? That's going to be the question. It's going to be really close. Fully upgraded Starbase. Armistice comes out. Yuki looks to be rotating back to fight, would be my guess. Where is he going with these? He's going for the phase jump inhibitor. I think he wants to come back to fight. What do we have here? So 1,800 supply for Danny, 1,000 for Mon Mon, and 1,600 for Dr. Techman. Techman does have 2 Gauss turrets, some repair bays, and the Starbase available. Looks like Techman wants, or looks like Danny wants to kill off this level 9 Acon. Not going to happen. So all of these Illuminators are just focus firing on these 71 Harkas. That's a lot of Harkas. Capital ship for Yuki continues to take peppering while fighting that Starbase. Looks like all of the capital ships for Techman are out of the gravity well. Has enough of a small bank to buy Amazon, so can fully replenish this fleet with the costs or with all the resources that he has. So I just think he's willing to take whatever trade he can at this point and not worry so much about what happens after. Very quick build. Keep building. Oh, it does have the construction bays on the planet as well. It does have home guard. Oh, the Marza came back in full burst on these hard. What did he shoot at? Oh, that was Danny's. So he was shooting at the Javelises. Javelises took a significant chunk of damage, just not enough to kill him. Kovarikov continues to fire away, 25 kills for it, and it looks like Yuki's going to try and join this fight. So this might be the defining fight of the game, that if Mon Mon can't deal with it or Danny can't fight back. Danny does have 11 capital ships in this fight, but what are they shooting at? Because Mon Mon's losing every single one of his Illuminators, and it does not look like any of these Harkas are really going down, but he does have a ridiculous 75% cruiser build time on this planet. What happened to it? Why did it stop? Ah, that's why the Starbase dropped down to no health, and that's probably where it was building. So all of these Harkas continue to just pepper everything that Danny and Mon Mon have. Mon Mon has next to no fleet remaining. Everything is off planet currently. He has a total of 330 supply left. So there's not much left. And now all of these Calebs are just going to get peppered by these Harkas. Starbase finally goes down. It looks like Danny wants to run. Is that where he's going? Yeah, they're going to run back. There's not enough here because Yuki's on his way in, and Yuki's just going to explode some stuff because he has a massive amount of oppressors and 2 large capital ships.
Hostility research complete.
Monmon's going to lose this level 7. Yep, loses that. I think both of these Raptures are also about to go down. They're both level 6. This is terrible if he loses those. Did he lose them? Yeah. Loses both Raptures. So, oh no, it doesn't lose them both. Both are extremely low. Use the recall to get them out. And that's a lucky pull. But I think that this is just going to be the straw that broke the camel's back on Team Fleet Command. So here come the Oppressors. Here comes the rest of Yuki's fleet. It looks like Techman is right behind. They're going to try and knock out this super capital as quick as they can. The Penetrator's actually doing their job at this point, and what's really saving the bacon here is this twin ion bolt on the Pirate Galleon, which can stun super capitals, immediately nukes down the super capital ship for Danny. And Danny's just going to, I think, try to run one more level of his fleet away. Yeah, looks like he's just going to run away. There's too much here for him to fight. Additional capital ships going down. What's going to go down? There's still a level 5. Is this coal also going to bite the dust? There's a lot of missiles in the air. It dies in phase space. What a tragedy. Alright, full 1,500 fleet supply and 1,800 for Yuki. Continuously being reinforced by factories on the back line. Danny's at 1,600 supply at this point, with the level 5 Marza in crippled hull and trying to build more ships. Monmon's at 528 and not currently building any ships. So Monmon may have decided that this game was over. Nope, he's still moving ships around. Where is he going? Really need to see him building ships at this point. There's the Illuminators. Alright, so he's going to try and refill this fleet back up. And he's just going to need time to do it. Where is his factory? Here. This is why. This is going to be the problem, is if Techman and Yuki go at this planet, Monmon has 0 structures left for him to do anything with. And while Danny does have quite a significant structures here, he's got the 8 auto cannons and then the starbase. This starbase is not going to be enough to deal with this, and he does have a Titan that is not going to finish up.
Times of war are upon us. This is the Akan battle cruiser.
So I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin. Danny needed that really badly. Monmon is sending some ships through, it looks like, and using Sanctify to prevent a planet from going down. Although he doesn't have culture there anymore, so I don't know if that's going to work. Yuki has Raiders back in the back line. I don't know when that happened, but 15 supply worth of Raiders.
An allied capital ship has been destroyed.
What did we lose? It looks like there's still damage going down. Starbase is dead for Danny, and it looks like there's enough siege and enough ships here to deal with the remaining turrets. So let's see what other movements we have going on. Monmon does have some fleets here. He's going to just deal with the Destructor or Devastator. Did I say that right? No. The Destructors. While there's also a significant push of Raiders going through these planets. I just don't think that there's going to be enough.
Defense upgrade complete.
Next time, place a bid.
Planets really haven't changed. It's just really the fleet supply for Team Fleet Command. Danny's got a lot of fleet left. Monmon is just needs time, really. Is he close to Titan? No, he's not close. Techman, do you have Titan? No. Do you have it researched? Sort of. Yuki, do you have Titan? You have Super Cap. Is it out? It's being built. And Danny, looks like he is going for a second Kvarkov if it can be completed. Yuki's got all of these raiders he's trying to continuously pester the backline for. Oh, Danny says he's going to call good game, wait for the final call, and then we will close this one out. Techman is full build. Yuki is roughly full build. And does he have red button? That's a good question. Does he have red button? No. Red button's level. That's a tier 5. So no red button. Does not look like there's any star bases even available. So nowhere to put it. Is that going to be it, folks? Looks like it's going to be just about it. Alright, Team Fleet Command does call a good game. That's probably going to be it. Alright, so that evens the series up at 1-1 in this best of 3. With Team Fleet Command taking the first game and Missile Knows Where It Isn't taking the second game on this Transtav barn burner for 2 hours and 32 minutes. So before we close out, we'll look at some graphs real quick. You will see that there was a pretty even supply of planets right around the 49-minute mark. They were sitting pretty even from 29 minutes to 51 minutes. And then there's a little bit of flux here where Yuki lost some, Mon gained it. Techman and Danny held pretty steady, and then Techman took a bunch of planets towards the end of this game to close things out. Combat. Fleet supply used. Techman kept it very low while he got his garrisons online, and then once all the garrisons were everywhere he needed them to be, he had a really bad fight here. It looks like he only had 70 supply left. While Danny had spiked all the way up to 1,000, and then took that one bad fight, I think, on that asteroid under the starbase for Techman and Yuki. Even though they had lost some ships in the process, Danny lost that much more, while Mon was on a different planet. And then from there on out, Yuki and Techman really just spiked and overdid the fleets on Mon, and Mon was just never able to recover. I think it was too much raider damage in that backline, causing all of that structural damage. So if we look at those structure damage, you can see that Yuki is way up at the top and probably right around this point when all of those structures just started to go down from those backline raiders. A lot of damage dealt. Looks like Dr. Techman did finish on top on damage. Danny was still close, but a nice solid almost 6 million damage dealt by Techman. And then let's see if there's anything else. So a lot of star bases destroyed. Look at the total income. Total income for Techman and Danny was fairly close. I think some of this had to do right around in this point here, where Yuki was in the backline with raiders killing off Danny's structures, and that hurt pretty bad. Planet income for Mon was really just the homeworld. Like I said, would have liked to have seen a couple planets to get him at least up to about here or so, because at least with Advent, usually about 50% of your income is from the homeworld, if not more. So would have liked to have seen a little bit more income. Maybe he would have had a little bit more at the end to fund his fleet. And then total income available for metal. Obviously, Yuki being a Visari has to have that high metal spike. but looks like Techman and Danny were pretty close to similar. But again, right here, either Danny was losing planets or was losing structures, most specifically extractors and trade ports. And so I think that was probably the biggest thing is right here in the middle, where Yuki was, taking down all of those structures. So that'll do it for Game 2. Thanks for watching, and hopefully Game 3 is posted soon and we can see the conclusion of this series.